Hi, good morning. Our video presentation deals about our project which deals with pattern identification and prediction analysis of sexual offenses. I am Shravan Vadgepalli and my team includes Ramcharan Kakarla, Byri Nitish and Venkat Vikram Karnataka. When we go into our project, what it actually deals with? It actually deals with identification of pattern and crimes of sex offenders in the state of Illinois. We predict the crimes based on the sample data which we work on through various models. In this project, we analyze our data with various building models and then we produce the results and we assess that. The purpose of a project deals with drawing a relationship of sexual offenders based on wide variety of features they have. Like our data includes the age, the ethnicity, the gender of the person, their race. So these are all the these are all the details which is enough to go and to analyze the things. We identify the vulnerable victims to these crimes and we predict the age group that commits these crimes. So for this purpose, we got the raw data from Illinois State Department and we analyze on that. So how is the project going to help? How is the outcome of the project going to help? It prevents the serious crimes from occurring in the near future because we develop many ways and models which gives an idea that this offense is going to happen in this place and at this point of time, which says these locations are of greater risk. So we got ample data. This gives, as I said before, this gives everything about starting from the ethnicity, the age, the major or minor, and the point of crime. So this makes a better analysis. So our prediction analysis is to estimate the most vulnerable areas with the data which we have. So whenever we speak about an analytical project or a kind of data mining project, we basically get an issue with the data preparation and the data from where we get. So I feel data preparation is the main task which is to be governed and which is to be taken care of. So uh, regarding to our project data, we got the data set from the Illinois Police Department website and we got like few resources from other websites too. So our data is basically of multiple resources which we got and we worked a lot on the data preparation techniques and we used many consolidation techniques for the data because as the data is not coming from a single source, so we do obviously have many things which are to be taken care of and which are to be processed and we need to get one single data where we can work on that. So uh, when we go into the techniques which we used for processing various data, we used Excel consolidation techniques so that we can make different sheets of data into a single master data sheet. So that's what with the data preparation steps. But when we come into the data cleaning, it's kind of more hectic than what we did before because uh, the data can we get data from various resources, but whenever it happens, whenever we need to use the data, first we should take care of the data and make it appropriate for our analytical purpose. So data cleaning is the major step here. So the data which we got is in raw format. I mean, the format of many variables has to be changed according to our needs because there are few variables like if we keep the same kind of variable and the same type of the variable, yeah, then we can't do the analysis with that. So we did basically the format of the variables have been changed, and there are few variables which are not at all required for our analysis. I mean, they are not so significant in our purpose of the project. So we need to identify those variables. We need to clean them up, and we don't want the type of variables which don't deal with our project. So again, eh, when it comes to data cleaning, yeah, we need to do a lot of stuff here, like changing the format of the variable. Like consider an example of date of birth. It is in some other format, and we want it to meet our needs, and we changed it into the format which is required for us. So, and the data which we update through many resources is a kind of CSV file, which is a comma separated file. So again, we need to use techniques to make it into a normal Excel sheet so that it will be useful for our analysis purposes. Then, regarding the merging of data, as we got data from different sheets of data, we use the tab options in Excel sheet to merge our data. Then we had options like comma separated format can be converted into Excel sheet. Those are the techniques which are involved in the data cleaning. So as the data is in raw format, we use the data tab option to convert the text into columns. That's what we basically dealt with data cleaning steps. Uh, then then it comes data transformation. As we know, these are the four main steps in any data mining or analytical project, like data preparation, data cleaning, data transformation, and data reduction. So whenever we go through these phases of data transformation, uh, it depends again on the purpose of the project. Like what you need to actually transform will be depending on the kind of analysis which you are going to do and the kind of purpose which we are doing. So here, the data which we got has the variables which gives the details about the age of the offender and then age of the victim. So what we basically did is we want the data transformation so that we want the difference in the age of the offender and the victim, and this variable should be added to our Excel sheet so that when we get the age difference of the offender and victim, we can easily say that who is uh, who is more prone to that and what kind of person's age is influencing. So we found this age difference uh, gives a lot of significance in our project, and we did the transformation, making the difference in age of the offender and the victim. So it helped us in better analysis purpose. Yeah, this data transformation is of much importance for our project. Then we had few variables which are not required, like we had almost 23 variables. In that, there's one variable which is the middle name, which doesn't do anything with our project because we already have the first and last names of the offenders. And then there's no point in having the middle name. It just adds the correlation between the variables. So we removed the middle name variable, and now our complete dataset includes 26,794 records and 23 variables, which deals with the entire project, which involves the prediction analysis of sexual crimes happening at various locations. And moreover, whenever we get data, as we get the raw data, there'll be like hell lot of repeated values which are to be taken care of. So we we did that in the transformation. We did techniques. We did use techniques in Excel, and we removed number of values which are often repeated. So because when the values gets repeated, there's no point in getting the same value, same records again and again, which just makes the Excel sheet more. That's it, which is not significant in the project. So we did remove the repeated values. Till now, I mentioned about the whole data preparation steps, data cleaning steps, data transformation, and the data reduction and what kind of data we got. So now what we do is like I want to welcome my teammate to go to the next thing and speak about the main analysis of our project and how we went on with that. Thank you.
Hello, I am Ramcharan Kakarla. Before jumping and doing any models, what we have done is a basic statistical analysis of the data to give a bird's view of what all this data is all about, and is there any significant data that is correlated, or to find some basic patterns. So that would be helpful for us in building up the models. So uh, based on the county information, what we have drilled down is it seemed like the conviction county of the Cook County is more prone to these crimes. We further drilled down and saw that this county is the most populated county in the state of Illinois. And this might be a probable reason that more crimes are committed in this area. And we tried to find out, is there any gender relation in this on the effect of the sexual offenses that's being done. And we found the pattern is like the more males tend to do more sexual offenses than the females. Now, we have found the race to be another significant factor that might influence it. So what we have done is we have just taken the distribution analysis of the race, and we found out that the whites and the blacks majorly contribute to the sexual offenses that are happening in the state of Illinois. And there are a few minorities that do these crimes, but they are relatively minor when compared to the whites and the blacks. And majoritarily, it's the white ethnicity that is majorly dominating this offenders. And we have got a variable called classification variable in terms of classifying the sexual offenders from the database of Illinois State Police, and they classified them into child murderers, sexual predators, sexually dangerous, and sexually violent. The sexual predators are the ones who are very high in their intensity and who commit those crimes often. And we found out that the people who have been the sexual predators are the largest among the classification. And sexually dangerous people are those who have committed minor violences, and they are very less when compared with the sexual predators and the other groups, as you can see it from the distribution analysis. And with the help of Tabulo, what we have done is we have got the latitude and longitude information. So to meet the objective of our project, we tried to impose it on the geospatial data mining. We used a geospatial data mining technique and tried to impose the data upon it. And we found the northern part of the Illinois is more thickly, densely populated with these sexual offenders. So we found it's basically the Cook County. For the reference, we have even attached the map, and we find that the Cook County and the Lake counties are the most populated counties, and they have more sexual offenders than any other county in the state of Illinois. And distribution of the victim. We try to find out, is the age of the victim any influencing factor in commission of this sexual offenses. And interestingly, what we found out was the victims under the age group of 18 were targeted mostly by the sexual offenders. The frequency distribution tells that people under the group of 18 are more prone to risk than any other group. And we have done some model buildings. We have used several methods to do this. Before that, we have even done a few other techniques that have not been mentioned in the presentation. We try to find out whether there is a relation between the age difference between the age of the victim and age of the offender, and we found that they are significantly different. and some other statistical analysis that led us into these 5 techniques that were used while doing the data mining and the project. I would like to hand over it to my next project teammate to take over from here.
Hi, this is Nitish. I would like to continue the presentation explaining about the model building and model choosing. Ram has already explained about the exploratory analysis of statistical data. Based on the analysis done, we have chosen the following modeling techniques in our project, and they are anomaly method, shade method, k-means clustering, and logistic regression and neural networks. Anomaly model. Before carrying out the modeling technique, we have divided the data into 3 sets of data, depending on the ratios of testing and training groups. This slide shows the results obtained using the anomaly model on 40:60 ratio of testing and training groups. We could see that the major factors in this model include gender, race, and the county. This slide shows the results obtained for the anomaly model depending on the ratios 45 and 55 testing and training data. Even this model gives the results as the major factors which include race, gender, and conviction counting. Next, even when the modeling is carried out depending on the ratio of 40:60, the same results are obtained, and that is the conviction county, the gender, and the race have proved out to be the major important factors obtained in this model. The next, shade model. Even before carrying out this modeling technique, we have divided the data into 3 sets of data. Here we have shown the best set. Here we have shown one set of data which obtained better results when compared with the other data sets, and that data set is using the ratio of 50:50 of training and testing groups. So clearly we can see that the major factors which have contributed are age of offender at the time of offense, height, status, and weight. So based on this model, we conclude that the major factors which are contributing are these: age, height, status, and weight. Next. See. In this slide tells us about the difference between the prediction of training and testing. Clearly, it shows that the difference is just 1.78 between testing and training groups, and this is a lot better when compared with the previous groups. So clearly this indicates that taking a ratio of 50:50 of training and testing data has better results when compared with the other groups. So we can say that this explains a lot better when compared with the other groups. Thank you. From now on, the presentation will be continued by Vikram.
Thank you, Nitish. Hi all, my name is Vikram. I'm going to continue the presentation with few more models. Firstly, k-means clustering. As the name suggests, this model takes the n predictor variables and forms k clusters. Each of the clusters have different combinations of the observations. The best cluster has the variables which have the most impact, and based on the hierarchy of the impact which they have on the variable. As usual, we have divided the data into 3 data sets based on the training and testing data ratios. And the results of the data set with the 50:50 ratio of training and testing data are very good. With the data which we have, we are able to find 5 clusters. Also, the ratio of percentages of biggest cluster to smallest cluster is further decreased when we use a 50:50 ratio of training and testing data. The most important variables, the variables which have the highest influence on the predictor variable, are the victim's age group followed by the height and weight of offenders. You can see that here. This is the race, the victim's age, the height and weight of the offender, which has the highest impact. Also, we can see the cluster quality is not bad. It's very good. Coming to neural networks. As the name suggests, the neural networks will form a network of data variables which we have, and the best network has the observations which has the huge impact on the predictor variables. Also in this model, we have divided the data into 3 data sets, and the results with the training and testing data ratio of 45:55 are very good. The accuracy which we have achieved with this model is 61.5. The status, age of offender, height and race are the most important predictors for this model. As you can see in the graphical representation, we have 61.5% of accuracy. Coming to logistic regression. Logistic regression is used in the case we have mixed group of elements of data like nominal data, categorical data, and the predictor variable in this case is a categorical variable. The results of the model with the training and testing data ratio of 50:50 are very good. We are saying that 50:50 ratio is good because the difference between the correct percentages of training and testing data is approximately 10%, whereas this difference has been significantly more than 10% for the other 2 models. We have the following variables: the conviction county, height, race, and the victim's age group as the most important variables with this model. So far we have seen that all the models which have explored gave good results in predicting. We successfully found the most influencing factors that may cause a crime at a particular location. With the results, we can find out the chance occurrence of any sexual crime with a certain data. We conclude by choosing the logistic regression model as the best model for our case. We chose this model because it can access any type of data for the input variables when the output variable is categorical variable. Also, this model is fairly robust and can be used with any size of records which you have. Coming to the limitations, we don't exactly have the date of the crime committed. So if we have the date of the crime committed, we can easily figure out what days have more chances of getting a crime committed. So we could use that out for better analysis. Also, the details of offenders who are committing these crimes repeatedly might be able to help us in a way to predict the crimes. Therefore, we predict that the Cook's County is more prone to crimes, and especially the victim groups under the age of 18 are more vulnerable to these sexual crimes. Therefore, we should suggest that security must be increased in Cook's County, awareness must be created among the teens. Thank you. I would like to thank Brainhammer for giving this wonderful opportunity. Thank you all.